horse friends, I'm Becca Salamone and this is Southern Horse Talk. Welcome back to another episode of Mary Miller Jordan's Mustang Mentors. She comes on here every month and gives us an update on what she's doing in the horse world and her life there with her kids and the ag lifestyle. So welcome back, Mary Miller. How you doing? Mary Miller Jordan. I keep saying Mary Miller.
All right, it's all the same person.
So what have you been up to lately?
Oh my goodness. A lot has been going on. A whole lot's been going on. Quite a bit in the personal realm of life. That's been some transitions that have taken place. A very dear friend, her physical vessel vanished, and her spirit, of course, is still right with me, but her physical vessel's gone. So, there's been a lot of transitions, and when I tell people that, they usually have such a heavy, response, and I'm so sorry, and of course, I don't want her to be gone. Of course, I want her physical vessel to be here, but I guess my point is that I'm not sorry. There's no weight in the I'm sorry, because she's right here, and she's right here in everything that I do, and I have felt her in so many ways, and especially in the things that I've been doing lately with businesses that I have, including LOPE, which is a horse show association that I created a few years back, and my friend Kim actually helped me very much with that, as well as Francis, who's a friend of both of ours that had passed a few months prior. So anyway, I have these two incredible angels that are like co-creating life with me now, and it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. And LOPE is we have a Liberty division, an Obstacle division, and a Pattern division, and so it's a show that really embraces all three of those things. And we're spending some time this year really getting it fine-tuned and ready to grow bigger and reach even more equestrians in different parts of the world, of the country.
That's awesome. So it's a show where you do those three things, and so people compete all day long in those different events.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like the concept of 3-day eventing or a 3-phase type competing, where with eventing you have dressage, stadium jumping, and cross country. With our group, you have obstacles, Liberty, and Pattern. And the Liberty, we start off very simple. It's in a round pen. It's enclosed. We have a newbie division that is super, super simple. We have a lot of people really intimidated by the Liberty, but once they try it, they're just amazed at how well they and their horses do, and how much it helps them with everything else that they do with their horse. And then you go up the levels to the very advanced divisions as well. And then we have obstacles, which is so many obstacle associations now, and ways to compete with obstacles. And but with ours, it's very much about showcasing the relationship with your horse as you navigate the obstacles. It's not a speed event. It's not who can get their horse across the scariest obstacle. It's not that at all. We try to keep our obstacles relatively not scary, but we really want to see the horses and the horse and human really as a partnership work their way through each obstacle. And then the Pattern is a place to really show, really focus on our precision of, circles and straight lines, and kind of like a simple dressage type test, but it's not discipline specific at all.
Okay.
You definitely, everyone can compete, whether you are a Western pleasure style or a reiner, or you're on a gaited horse or a hunter or a dressage horse or saddle seat, none of that, or backyard trail horse, none of that matters. It's basically about being smooth and connected to your horse and following a pattern that's laid out. And then these three scores then come together for an overall score. And so those are where our really big awards come in, is for that overall. But then you also are awarded for each individual phase as well.
Okay. Well, that sounds really exciting and something that may be popular, around the country. So you have lots of interest there, and is it just in North Carolina?
Right now we're just in North Carolina and Southeast North Carolina with our local lope association that we do. But every year that I've done this, every time I post about it on Facebook, I get somebody new pops up and says, "Hey, I'm in California, I'm in Texas, I'm in Florida, I'm in here or there. What can we do this here? What can I do to make this happen where I'm at?" And I didn't want to in the beginning because I wanted to run with it a little bit myself first, just locally to kind of iron out the details. But we've done that, and I feel like it's time. So in 2016 we will be going through the planning stages of what we need to do to make this available to people in all of the United States in 2017.
Wow.
So it's coming, and I'm really excited about that because there's just so much interest, not only in the obstacles. I mean, that's kind of been going on for a while,
Right.
but in the liberty connection, really connecting with your horse in a new way that's not discipline specific, that's really about the relationship. Our motto of Lope has always been the reward is in the relationship, and that's what these shows are about, is showcasing that and rewarding that.
Right.
Lots of times we have this horse that we are in love with, but then we're focused on keeping a perfect headset on the rail all the time, and not that that's a bad thing, but we tend to focus on what we are rewarded for.
Right.
So that really was why we created this type of showing, is to reward things that are really useful to focus on, like the relationship.
Definitely. It almost sounds like an agility type of thing. Is it similar to an agility program?
It is. And speaking of agility, kind of makes me think about in-hand work as well. And we have classes that are ridden and in hand.
Okay.
Inspired from other disciplines because they physically couldn't do those things, but they can do this great, and so it gives those horses a continued job and focus, and they love that. So the liberty, of course, that phase is always on the ground, even if it's a riding level, but we have different levels. So we have, for example, a green in hand level, and in that you would do the obstacles in hand, you do your pattern in hand, and you do your liberty, of course, on the ground as well. And then we have a riding where the liberty is the same on the ground, but then you ride the obstacles, you ride the pattern. And we have great awards for both. So it's a great opportunity for, young horses, older horses, miniature horses, and kind of everywhere in between.
That's awesome. Well, I'm excited about that. I look forward to see how that develops over the years there. Now, what's going on with I Am Heard?
We've had a lot of developments with I Am Heard, and that really is where I'm putting most of my brain power these days, is really focusing on building up more of a team. I cannot wear every hat and everything that I do. As much as I try, at some point, you get to a point where you've gotten this far, but there's kind of a glass ceiling if you don't get brave and just push through and let other people help and develop a real team. So we're in the stages of that, and I've got some really great people that have stepped up to help to be a part of I Am Heard. And we actually have a really exciting event that's this Saturday coming up, the 19th, up in Cary, and it is through a partnership that we have with friends of ours, Corral Riding, and they are an incredible nonprofit. They actually take in at-risk girls, and they partner them with rescued horses that the horses have been worked with and are safe, but they were previously at-risk horses. And these girls and the horses work together for a year, and it is amazing the changes that it creates in the girls. And so Corral recently had a huge fundraising campaign to save their farm. They wanted to be able to buy the property where they operate from, and they needed to raise $1 million to do so. And they set out to do it in a year, and 3 months later, it was done.
Yeah.
I mean, just, oh my gosh.
Praise the
and
Lord.
What a testimony for these girls to know that they are supported, that people really care about them and helping them. So this event Saturday is going to be a big thank you celebration for opportunity for me with I Am Heard, to be able to share our message and what I Am Heard is about with these wonderful people and with these girls. So the Mustang we headed up there.
Okay, you kind of cut out a little bit there. So it's a big thank you celebration, and you're going to be doing a Mustang message. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, it's going to be a big thank you celebration where all these people that made this happen, that raised all this money, it's going to be a big thank you celebration for them. And I'm going to have the Mustang team with me. I'm bringing my 4 kind of core herd mates, Swain, Yo, Magic, Colors, and Silver. And we're going to do a visual Mustang message and, talk about what I Am Heard is all about, which is about peeling away the layers and being real with who you are and not being afraid to be who you are and really yourself, which I feel like is what Corral is about for these young girls, and really what everything is about when you get down to the core of it. Anything that's worthwhile anyway. It's all about aligning with who we really sincerely are inside before everybody else told us, who we were supposed to be.
Exactly. So do you have many Mustang message type of events going on?
Yeah, I mean, this is a really big one coming up. But, I Am Heard, the Mustang message it's kind of the way that we reach out to people and share what we're about, but it's not the meat. The meat of what we're doing is really to try to help people on a more individual basis, on a more one-on-one basis. And so we're doing things like that too. One of the things that I really want I Am Heard to be able to do is to be able to fund people like these girls, perhaps, that have gone through the Corral program, to be able to come to our retreats and be able to do a body, mind, energy retreat where the horses are there to help as a therapeutic healing, tool for the kids. And so we're going to be doing some of those things as well. Also traveling to schools where we work with the kids on a more intimate basis and share the Mustangs with them, and quite a few other things that we have developing with I Am Heard. So we do have quite a few public appearances, but we also have a lot of private things that really is where my heart is and what it's really all about that we're doing as well.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like everything's going well. One thing I forgot to ask you about with the LOPE organization is, do you have clinics that you put together to teach people how to do these things?
Oh, what a good question. That's what my wonderful LOPE members have been encouraging. They said, we need to have this. And we did, actually. Speaking of, just last weekend, we did a LOPE clinic here for some people in our area that were a little intimidated by the liberty component, and just to kind of show them a little more of what it's about. Right. And one of the things that we're going to do with going national next year is create basically a LOPE clinic, trainers clinic, so to speak, so that we can train other people, because I can't go everywhere and be everywhere. It goes back to that wearing all the hats thing. So, right. This is about being able to help other people have stronger relationships with their horses. So that'll definitely be in the overall, building of the program of what we'll be offering in 2017. But for speaking of the immediate area, we do have another LOPE clinic coming up April the 2nd up in the Fayetteville area as well. Okay. And GoLope, GOLOPE.com. That's our website where information can be found.
Okay, awesome. Well, that was my next question, so you already answered it. So is there any other websites that you want to share where people can get more information on all of this?
Well, I Am Heard, IAMHERD, like a horse herd.com is our website for the nonprofit. And then MaryMillerJordan.com is where I try to keep kind of everything there as well, and other things that I'm doing. So go look, Mary Miller Jordan and I Am Heard are the ways to keep up with us. And then on Facebook as well. I really keep up with that pretty regularly.
Awesome. I see your girls on camera there. So what's the update on your family?
Oh my goodness. And just incredible. I've really, ever since I was pregnant with this one and she slowed me down, I thought I was going to be able to run around and do all I did with the first one. She slowed me down. I've really been taking time to soak up every moment and not just get too immersed in passions that I'm after, because this is my passion too. Right. And it's been wonderful because I really have been able to enjoy them, and just everything about them is just phenomenal. It's such a blessing. Family is such a blessing, and life is such a blessing, and family is kind of another way of sharing life with each other. So They're pretty incredible. Can you see this one right
Yeah, now? I can. She's beautiful. Hello.
Well,
I appreciate appreciate you sharing with us today, and we're going to look forward to hearing from you again next month and hear about how some of these events went. But we really appreciate you coming on every month to talk about all that you do.
Thank you so much.
All right, and viewers, you can go to the Southern Horse Talk Facebook group and join over there, share your horse story, your pics, and your videos, and help us share the Southern equine lifestyle.